Hi, I'm Nicola Cairncross.
Hi, hello, hey, hi.
I'm going to talk to you about success. Yes. Hi, it's Nicola here. I am in Irene's kitchen and I'm in Sunderland. So yeah, and we've been out for a massive walk already this morning. Irene's an early riser and I've been getting up a lot earlier because of the sunshine. And we've been 5,500 steps this morning, which was really cool. Okay, so this week I made a terrible marketing gaffe. I did a special promotion for my daughter Phoebe's birthday and I sent out what I thought was a brilliant email. And in fact, I got some really lovely emails back telling me how much they'd enjoyed the story of Phoebe being born underwater in Hammersmith Hospital, etc. But I made it overcomplicated. So there's a little lesson for you out there if you do email marketing. I made it so that there was a special promotional code that people had to put in, but I neglected to tell them to do that. I did tell them to do that, but I didn't tell them in order to find out if they were one of 22 people who were going to get the special 50% discount, they had to put the code in. I thought I made it look like they just had to click through to the page. So screwed up my own marketing promotion there. Luckily I remembered in time and I went and had a look at it and thought, no, that really isn't clear at all. So I was able to send out one final email because it was within the time frame and correct that, but it fell rather flat on its face just because I hadn't looked at it with external eyes. So a good idea is to get someone else to look at your marketing emails before they go out, and if not possible, go away and have a cup of tea and then come back to it and look at it with fresh eyes before you press send. So I've arrived in Sunderland and I'm staying with Irene, and she says to me that we're going to get up in the morning and she's going to get up in the morning and go for a long walk before she starts anything. So did I want to come with her? And as it happened, I was awake because there was a nightingale singing outside my bedroom window, which was really rather charming. So awake and ready to go. So we went for our walk and we went along this fantastic beach at, where was it? Seaham. It's a fantastic beach in Seaham and it really was very gorgeous. The sun was shining and it was really lovely. And I stopped to take some film and a guy came, I could sense him coming up behind me, and he was very courteous, unlike some people, and he just stopped because he realised he would get into my shot. And we got talking after that, and because he had a big camera himself, and I said, are you a photographer? And he said yes, he had been a photographer in London and he'd worked in editorial work, but he'd recently returned home to Sunderland and he was now creating art from driftwood and other stuff that he found on the seafront. And he was also started to tell me about sea glass, which I'd never really heard of before, which is where bits of glass get sort of smoothed over the years by the actions of the ocean, and they get washed up on the beach. And he was there. He said I'll probably be here for 8 hours today, beach combing for sea glass. And I was just fascinated by this. The very fact that he sort of was a creative type. He recognised that I was doing something creative and he was very respectful of that. And then the fact that he was so unbelievably passionate about this obscure thing that I'd never heard of before, sea glass. And I was talking to Irene about it, and she was giving me all the history in the fact that there was a glass manufacturing plant and they used to dump all the unwanted stuff in the sea, and obviously that's why Seaham is a really good place to be looking for sea glass. But it turns out this is an actual global passion. And he really was amazing, this guy. He told us all about it. So his name was Paul, and he's the founder of the International Sea Glass Society, and he's got a private group on Facebook, which is very welcoming. So if you are a sea glass enthusiast, you can go along and join that group now, and Paul will welcome you with open arms. His only criteria is that you have to love sea glass and you have to be kind to the other members. Anyway, we carried on with our walk and we carried on talking about, in fact, we started talking about what a fantastic niche this was, because there's lots of people who are enthusiastic about sea glass. There are people who are making a living from making jewellery out of sea glass, and in fact, Paul was telling us how he's going to make an entire patio out of white sea glass. So it's a big, big niche. It's a global niche. It's a very exciting niche, and we were talking about, membership sites and all sorts of potential spin-offs from this. So why is it important to have passion for what you do? It's really important to have passion for what you do because, as Paul demonstrated so brilliantly this morning, it makes you very attractive as a person in terms of, we're two complete strangers and we just got talking because he was so enthusiastic for his topic, and he really brightened up our day, which was great enough as it was, but meeting him just added to the whole day for us. So it's also really important to be passionate about your topic because, as I found when I was trying to make myself into the guinea pig whisperer, which was a great niche because there's lots of guinea pig enthusiasts around the world, and while I did actually have guinea pigs, and I do actually quite like guinea pigs, I couldn't quite bring myself to spend the time on that business that it really deserved to make it work, because I just wasn't as passionate about guinea pigs as I should have been. So that's another thing, you don't make yourself do the work. Now the other thing is that you are inevitably going to come up against obstacles and when you're trying to set up a business, and you're going to come across humps in the road that are going to stop you in your tracks, and you simply won't have the passion and enthusiasm to find out the solutions to your obstacles, the solutions to your challenges, and you won't have the passion and enthusiasm which will drive you past those humps, those slumps of enthusiasm, those slumps of motivation. You really need to be able to reach down inside you and tap into that passion for the topic, and then that will get you going again. And being passionate about something just makes life more fun, I find. So Paul was telling us that he'd made 2 sales from America of his driftwood art and his sea glass jewellery just last night, which is really exciting, isn't it? He has an Etsy store and he's out in the sunshine doing something. In fact, there's a lot of people out in the sunshine beachcombing, and there's different ways to do that apparently. We got all sucked into talking about the grid system and whether you walk up and down and whether someone else gets there before you, and they've got their own territory, and then people were bringing their dogs out and their children, and it was great to see, because there are worse ways to spend your time. So if you're going to build your business around a niche, why not make it one you're passionate about? So how can I help you if you have a passion for what you do and you want to reach more people? I've got a program called Be Everywhere Online, and it would help Paul to establish himself in the sea glass global marketplace as a sea glass expert as well as an enthusiast. How can I help you if you've got a passion that you'd like to build a business around? Well, again, I've got a membership site. It's called My Inner Circle, and it's got lots of video trainings inside it which would help you to get your business started without even needing a website initially. So Irene, who I'm staying with, works specifically in the construction industry, and she's passionate about helping managing directors and people who own construction businesses to have a fantastic business without having to have all the hassle of their own HR department, so that they can enjoy those businesses without all the people hassles that come along with it, especially if they don't have their own HR department. You can find Irene at theemployertoolbox.com. So, to recap, if you have a passion for what you do and you'd like to reach more people, if you've got a passion and you'd like to monetize that passion by creating a business out of it, or if you have a business that serves a bunch of people that you are passionate about helping, then get in touch, because I can help you. What's on the blog this week? Well, last week's ezine is out on the blog this week, and in it I share one of my best productivity hacks. So if you haven't seen the ezine last week, go and check that out, because this one productivity hack, which takes you literally 5 or 10 minutes a week, will change your life. It'll make you more accountable to yourself, it'll make you achieve more, and it'll make your life more enjoyable, because you know that week after week you're moving your business forward. Also on the blog this week is the once a month release of one of my in-depth interviews that I conducted. A couple of years ago I interviewed 120 amazing entrepreneurs, and I asked them, apart from hearing all about their story and how they came to be where they are, I asked them what's the one thing they'd want to share with their earlier self about their mindset, their marketing and their money. And this month it's James Schramko. Now, I'm a massive fan of James Schramko. He's been incredibly successful in all of his previous careers and businesses, but now he runs a multi-thousand membership site for entrepreneurs, of which I'm a member and Irene's a member as well. well. Irene's sitting just over there, by the way. Right, so he reveals how you can choose your occupation during up times in the economy and down times in the economy. Then he reveals how he was one of the most successful Mercedes car sales room managers. And then he talks about how he got started with his internet marketing career and the things that really made a difference to him. The thing I most love about James is he is unemotional about business. And that's one of the coaching skills he brings to the table too. And you'll really get a sense of this in this interview. He thinks very logically about things, and as a highly emotional, volatile person, I find that a very attractive quality in a mentor and a coach. Us creative types, we're emotional and volatile. On the Own It podcast this week, I share my top 10 Instagram tips for using Instagram for marketing for your business, and I share 2 bonus tips and also 2 warnings, 2 things you absolutely mustn't do, because Instagram are clamping down on certain marketing practices, because as we all know, marketers ruin everything, and Instagram are determined that that shouldn't happen. So don't miss this. It's on ownitthepodcast.com, and it's the episode with the big pink picture on it that says Own It, the podcast rocks. You can't miss it. That's it for me, so have a great week. Bye. That he'd had 2 orders from a... Oh my God. This happens every time. It happens every time. What's... From being a oh my God. So one of the car the Mercedes. Then he